أهلا بكم أعزائي المشاهدين ومرحبا في حلقة هذا الأسبوع من القراءة مع حلا. اليوم طبعا معانا حلا مرة تانية تيجي تقرأ قصة جديدة. أهلا حلا، إيش القصة اللي اخترتي لنا إياها اليوم؟
القصة اسمها Liberty, written by Alan Drummond.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Thank you. Just a quick heads up before I start the story. This story kind of talks about freedom and equalism and how we all deserve to be treated right. The day I helped Mr. Bartholdi light up the world, it rained and rained. All the umbrellas in the whole city were out on the streets. And so were all the flags. At the waterfront, there was a special ferry boat waiting to carry Mr. Bartholdi and his friends from France and me. And the harbor was bursting with ships as we headed out to the island where they built Mr. Bartholdi's statue. We passed plenty of boats, all sizes, some flying the American flag and some flying the flag of France. And all around us people cheered and yelled, "Liberty! Freedom!" A big steamship sailed into the harbor from the ocean, loaded with immigrants just arriving from Europe, coming to America to find liberty and freedom and a better life. And near the island, there was a ferry boat full of women shouting, "How long must we wait for liberty?" It passed very close. On the island stood Mr. Bartholdi's gigantic statue, and crowds of men. The men who put the statue together were there, building the pedestal, riveting panels of copper, at work inside the Liberty's head, and finishing up the flame, installing the spiral stairs inside Liberty. The men who'd actually made the statue in France were there. Shading Liberty's copper shell, the great lady shows her face, hand and torch go on display, and Liberty first rises above Paris. And the men who brought the statue in pieces from France by steamship, and the newspapermen and businessmen and engineers too. Oh, and the President of the United States. And there was just one woman and one girl on the island, talking in French and holding their flags and umbrellas and looking up through the smoke and rain at a huge, beautiful, fantastic metal statue. Liberty enlightening the world, the Statue of Liberty, a gift to America from the people of France. Suddenly, Mr. Bartholdi gave me his handkerchief and asked me to help with the signal. Me standing way down below on the ground, waiting for a signal from a man in the crowd, and Mr. Bartholdi way up high, looking down from Liberty's crown, waiting for my signal to light up the world. All those umbrellas, all those flags, and all the ships in the harbor, the smoke and the rain, the man in the crowd waiting, me waiting, Mr. Bartholdi waiting, all the men on the island waiting, the girl and the woman waiting, the president waiting. Achoo! Then the French girl suddenly sneezed. I gave her my handkerchief. And suddenly hundreds of white handkerchiefs flashed. Boom! A cannon fired. I looked up and saw that Mr. Bartholdi had already let go of the rope. The flag fell away, and Lady Liberty's great face was revealed. I yelled "Liberty" as loud as I could. The French girl cried out "Liberté" as loud as she could. And at the sunset, Liberty's torch shone out bright from the land of the free to light up all the world. Now, the way I see it, I am free, and you are free. We are free, we are equal. We are free to say what we want and to believe what we want, and we must help others to be free. Freedom is like a flame we must all hold high and give to others and keep burning bright all around the world. The end.
Thank you so much. That was a very nice story. By the way, did you know that when the Statue of Liberty was built, it used to be copper, but then with time it turned green?
What, really? That's why
Yeah,
it was green. And the story
yeah,
was illustrated that it was copper and it kind of looked brown, but I remember from the time I went and visited it, it was green. That's
yeah, because after a while the copper turns green. That's why also the roof
Yeah.
of Parliament is green, because it was also made out of copper.
That's very interesting. What I really liked about this story is a quote at the end. Freedom is like a flame we must all hold high and give to others, and keep burning bright to light up all the world. It's a very good quote.
Yeah, it's a very interesting quote. It's really like all what the whole American dream was about.
Yeah, this is a very
Right.
good book. I'm glad I chose it for this week.
Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next week again.
Me too.
شكرا أعزائي المشاهدين، وأتمنى أن أراكم في الحلقة القادمة.